Let's hear from Ange Postecoglou now. He spoke to talkSPORT's Ian Danter after the game.
Ange, thank you for your time. Never in doubt, right?
Yeah, look, it was, I guess, a typical cup tie. Credit to Coventry. I thought they were outstanding tonight. They played at a real high energy, high tempo. Crowd got behind them, and it was a difficult night for us. We just had to hang in there, and we did. And then, at the end, found what we needed to.
Can you put your finger on why it was not going quite right for you tonight?
I think it's a combination. I mean, obviously made quite a few changes to the team. A lot of guys haven't played for a while, but that was the whole purpose of tonight, to get them some game time, which I think will help us moving forward. But also, like I said, you've got to pay credit to Coventry. I thought, they turned it into a real sort of cup tie with the energy they played, and like I said, with the supporters behind them. And we just found it difficult to get a grip on the game. Like I said, we just had to hang in there, and we did, and we got over the line.
Touch of relief?
Oh, there's always kind of relief, especially in cup games, because, there's no coming back from a defeat. You're out of the competition. So the fact that we're in the next round, it's good.
All right, let's go to Trevor. He's a Spurs fan. All right, Trev?
Hi, you all right?
All right, Trev.
Yeah, I mean, look, it feels like we've got way one tonight.
Oh, that performance. Come on, Jamie. I call you up quite a lot during the season. That was diabolical. And I've got to say, I honestly believe, look, last season and since January, Ange has been devoid of ideas. He is a one-trick pony, wants to play football one way, won't listen, won't have a set-piece coach. No wonder we're so poor on set pieces. And I think he's out of his depth. Now, that doesn't mean to say that tonight's game would have got him sacked, because I don't think he would have done. And I think all these guys saying, he would have got the sack. That's absolute nonsense. No. That would not happen. Okay? If he loses on Saturday, he's right under pressure. Because I think after that, we got Man U.
I'm not sure what the fixtures are coming up, but all I know is that Brentford at the weekend is a game that you cannot lose.
We've got to win that game. Got to win that game. But honestly, he is just one way. And the other thing, he stands on that sideline, which gets me riled, because he stands there with his hands in his pockets, okay, and he looks like a pallbearer. No disrespect, and that's no disrespect to pallbearers.
Why does it matter?
What do you want him to wear? He's got a coat on.
Well, I mean, come on. He looks very, very dowdy, doesn't he? He never smiles. He looks like a pallbearer.
Well, he ain't got nothing to smile about at the moment, has he? Let's be honest. I mean, you want to be all cheery on the side. He's an honest bloke. That's one thing I like about him. He's pretty honest. And he's watching what we're watching, and he can't be happy with it.
But listen,
right? He is honest. Hold on. He is honest. But he has no expression on his face at all. He makes no hand gestures during the game. At the end, on the TV, they're saying, or your commentator saying, he's clapping. Whoopee, that's the first time I've seen any action from the geezer. I mean, he's on borrowed time.
I don't know whether he is.
Borrowed time feels a bit harsh, Trev.
Look.
I'm harsh. I want results.
Yeah, but borrowed time does seem a bit harsh. But do you know what? These games, and he answered it there, when you play away at Coventry and you've just done a North London derby, you've got Europe coming up next week, you've got a game you absolutely have to win. First of all, draw's not a good result at the weekend. Then you got Europe, then you got United. When are you going to say, right, I need to take some of these players out the firing line, I need to give the other players a chance? Out of the fixtures I've just named them, this is the only game.
I don't disagree with you, but what Jamie said initially was he could have started in the first half with a slightly stronger team, and then started to take people off early in the second half.
You don't do that, though, do you? It never works that way.
I'll tell you the one person I feel happy for tonight, Jamie, because he hasn't got you having a pop at him.
No, mate.
Don't worry,
honestly, mate, he was licking his lips, mate. He couldn't wait for it.
Mate. I was like a dog with two, you know what.
But you know what he said, Trev, when we walked in, I went, oh, thank God for that. He went, there'll be another night.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
It's a stay of execution, Trev.
You're still Spurs. There'll be another night.
That's the trouble. There most probably will be.
I know. Next week, probably. All right, Trev, thanks for your call. Let's go to Kevin, another Spurs fan. All right, Kev?
Evening, guys.
Evening, Kev.
Disgusting performance tonight. Really unprofessional. I think the players let him down big time. And it's a total fluke we got through, right? Because we should have lost 3-0. We should have lost 3-0.
Yeah.
The game changes by accident when Werner goes off injured, so it wasn't a tactical decision by him. And Kulusevski, De Bruyne comes on, and he's our best player for 15 minutes, and he helps win us the game. So it's a total fluke. You start with your strongest team. Take the pressure off the team.
They never do that.
You know what I mean?
I know. They never do that, Kev.
Look, teams don't do that, but I think the problem you've got is that Tottenham are the laughing stock in terms when it comes to trophies. So we ain't going to win the league, and we're probably, at the moment, it don't look like we're going to get top 4. But you can win the Carabao Cup. That is an opportunity to win a trophy. And we nearly went out tonight, and he would have got absolutely slaughtered. We would have been memes all over the place. And he could have took that away by going, right, I know what's at stake. I know I've got to try and win a trophy here. I'm going to play my best side.
But you're away at Coventry, Jamie. This is a game that those players... and look, he got it right, by the way. It weren't great, and it was ugly, and maybe there was a little bit of good fortune. But one thing you can't deny is... He got
it right, mate. I know he won.
He got away with it. He got away with one.
Get it right.
He got away one tonight, right? But if you win the Carabao Cup and you finish 11th, he's out of a job. Right? This Carabao Cup...
No, I don't think he is.
You think he's going to keep it a job? If you finish bottom half of the table, no chance.
No, not bottom.
No chance,
bottom half is maybe a bit strong.
Well, no, I'm exaggerating the point to prove a point. Winning a cup is great, but the bread and butter, what really matters to Levy, is all about your league performance.
What happens to for Levy, but for the fans, I guarantee you that it was a sold-out away end tonight.
Yeah.
Spurs fans going up, they want to see a trophy.
Of course they do, and they'll say, why can't we have both? Why can't we challenge in the top 4, in and around there? Why can't we win a trophy? And that's a fair argument.
Kev, look...
Yeah, listen, you've got to play your strongest team. Maddison, this time last year, was the best player in England. That's a fact.
Yeah, but you know what, though, Matt? I say that, Kev.
Since Christmas, our form's been diabolical. There's a lack of confidence in the team. Solanke's not scored yet, and it would have been a good opportunity for him to score, and it wasn't his fault. Yeah, I'll defend him. A striker needs service, yeah? He gets no service. And going back to the Arsenal game, I'm sorry to go on about it, I said about Romero, he gets bullied, doesn't he, in the 6-yard box.
Yeah.
But there's core fundamentals, like we've got a goalkeeper. I know he didn't play tonight, but Vicario... That 6-yard box is yours. If you can't catch the ball, punch it. And nothing's happening. And that's my biggest concern with Ange. It's just we can't keep a clean sheet. We're soft. And I'll tell you what, guys, there's a sheer lack of leadership in that team. And this bit about resting players, guys, they have a number one diet, fitness. They're elite athletes.
No, but not only that. Sorry, Kev. There are players in this squad, right?
You do need to give opportunities.
They need minutes. They need minutes. It's not necessarily all about resting players. It's about giving others an opportunity. And he would have learnt a lot tonight about some of those players. Some of those players let him down. So next time you come, depending on what you get in the next draw, any of those players feel white in the team. He'll say, "Well, look at the performance you put in against Coventry." So he's given some a chance. He has brought some of the big dogs on. Kulusevski, Maddison, and Son came on.
Yeah,
and that in the end that was enough. He got over the line. Got away with one.
Jay, sorry to cut over you, but what about starting them at half-time when we're 3-0 up and Slanky's maybe got a break?
Yeah, but it might not be the case. I get that.
What if it's 0-0? And then you'll be moaning, saying, why is he taking Son off? Why is he taking Kulusevski off? That's the first thing you'll be saying.
3-0. If I was that Spurs fan earlier, I'd have left because the performance is insipid. I'm professional. If I went to work next day and I performed like that, guess what? I'll probably get investigated.
What do you do for a living?
You can't.
What do you do for a living, Kev?
Professional.
What do you do?
Sorry?
What do you do for a living?
General manager at Curry's.
General manager. So give us what sort of performance? What would you have to do at work? So give me an example of Kev, the general manager at Curry's. What performance that we saw today? What would you have to do at work? Would you drop a couple of tellies?
Potentially ignore my staff, ignore the customers, get out the back, play Sabutio probably.
Put the wrong prices on tellies. £4.50 instead of 450 quid.
It's a lack of professionalism, guys. He even said we got away with it against Coventry.
Hold on, I've got to ask a question here, Kev. Do you play Sabutio at work?
No, I'm joking.
I was going to say.
I'm joking, of course. I lead my teams, yeah? I lead my teams.
I know, but people always say this, Kev, right? Well, if I perform like that at work, well, if you're at Curry's, you ain't got another general manager from another telly store coming in trying to stop you do your job.
No, but I'd have my
footballers have got other players coming up against them trying to stop them being good.
Guys, I don't want to steal too much time, but our last 16 or 17 goals that we've conceded in the Premier League have been set plays. Have we not got a coach? Surely someone knows that.
I agree with you, Kev. I agree with you.
We've got 2 fullbacks that can't head the ball, and we've got a goalie that looks like dancing on ice. Honestly, he makes me nervous.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on the set piece situation. It's soft, mate.
You got out of jail today, right? But imagine going into that Brentford game if you'd lost tonight. You've won. Going at Brentford now. You can forget that, move on. It was a terrible performance. You got away with it.
What I'm worried about is I'm not seeing improvement. I'm not seeing a freshness. I'm not seeing a sharpness to a play.
You need a clean sheet,
like, I'm not seeing, another goal conceded, shambles at the back. Yeah. Look like they're going to run all over us. Coventry could have had 3 goals tonight. And I'm looking at it going, what are we all of a sudden? And we look soft, really soft.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.